Go Pack, go.
No, Pack, no!
How many times did they play that song during the last two games? And I guess it didn't work.
It didn't do anything.
Man,
Didn't do anything.
nothing good anyway.
I've never seen anything as pathetic. Because remember the 80s when the team was bad? They
Yep.
still scored like 30 points a game. Just they couldn't stop anybody. Like Lynn Dickey and James Lofton and John Jefferson and all those guys were throwing the ball all over the place. It was exciting. We lost it. It was exciting.
Yeah.
This is just sad and
What?
pathetic.
Jordan Love throws it all over the place. He just doesn't throw it where he should most of the time. Right? Isn't that? I know you have a bunch of plays and. Or
I don't.
film.
I do,
Oh, you
but we're
don't.
not going to
Okay.
show.
Well, I think we can. I think we can just show them and then just let everybody see. But then, I mean, there were so many plays where dudes were open and he just didn't see him because he's looking downfield. And then by the time he looks back to the other guy, then it's too late.
Yeah.
And so it shows you he's not reading defenses once again.
No.
And we had a quarterback who stopped reading defenses a long time ago, and that was annoying. And now we have another one that won't.
The thing is, it's very similar.
Yeah.
It's very similar to what Aaron Rodgers is doing. Is he's afraid of the rush, and because of that, he's given up on plays.
Mhm.
But the difference is, Rodgers is smart enough and accurate enough to at least get the ball to a guy, and then he can maybe catch it and make a play. Love just keeps going backwards and then throwing off his back foot and then throwing the check down, which doesn't do anything because the defense is just sitting there waiting for the throw to the check down because they already know that's going to happen, and it's over. So what do you do with that? I don't know.
Well, it's some interesting things to talk about. No. I mean, there's plenty of bad stuff. I mean, look, it goes,
the interior offensive line, is bad.
And there were stories this week too about, talking about Goody's awesome big time free agent signings. Right? They wait so long to spend money, and then they finally spend some money, and then look at the two guys they spent big bucks on, and what are they doing for this team? Can't stay healthy, and when they're in there, aren't very good.
And I'm also going to bring up the two from the year before too.
Sure, I agree,
because they're not what everybody thinks they are.
But that's all I'm going to say. Well, especially Xavier McKinney, sits there and talks like he's great, and I'm just like, are you watching the same guy I'm watching? Do you watch film?
I don't know.
What? I mean, he made a good interception 2 weeks ago because he can do that. He can when there's nothing around, the ball's thrown up. When there's nothing around, and I know, but when there's nothing around, he can find the ball and he can catch it. Some guys can't even do that on defensive backs, so we give him credit for that. But his tackling, his coverage, his whatever, everything else, every single thing else, which is a big part of playing safety or defensive back, is not very good. It's like well below average, and we're supposed to believe he's one of the best guys in the league. I don't know how you believe that. Like, he made a big splash, came on the scene, made a big splash, had all these lucky interceptions in a row. Some of them were good plays by him, some just bad quarterback plays, but still he made the plays, he made the catches. We give him credit for that. But everyone hyped him up so much after that, and then he disappeared the second half of the year. His tackling was never good. His coverage isn't good. Like, maybe he knows what the defensive calls are. We hear about that. I think he's a smart guy. But if you can't make tackles and you can't make plays and you can't defend and you can't cover guys, like, there's not a lot of use for you. You're not very good. I mean, this last game, everyone's going to remember that Evan Williams couldn't, knock the pass away from Devontae Smith because he got put in a really tough spot. And then Devontae Smith is fast. But Evan Williams made plays all day long. Evan Williams was making plays the whole game. But people are going to remember that one play? Like,
hey, why don't you share the film? Because I have that one play ready to go right now.
All right, let's see. I'm tired of talking. I got to make my drink. It's Squirt tonight. Squirt mixed with this new vodka I found, Elite 18. So it's filtered.
It's not green.
It's filtered to negative 18 degrees Celsius for the ultimate perfection vodka, and it's from like Latvia. It's Latvian vodka.
Latvia
so
is
there you go. Yeah, it is. And they make damn good vodka at negative 18 degrees Celsius. All right, here's your...
Latveria is the made-up place where Dr. Doom is from. That's why, not Latvia.
That's what it is. Okay. Okay, film is up. I'm taking our POO stuff off so we don't get trouble. And,
okay.
All right, play it away. Play away.
This is the touchdown. The only touchdown the Packers defense gave up. And I want to watch. Let's look at the defensive backs here. As you see, this is quarters coverage. You got Keyshawn at the top of the screen. You got Evan Williams at the 25 on the hash mark. You got Xavier McKinney just below the 25, next to the hash mark. And when the receiver goes in motion to this side, number 2, that means there's 2 receivers on this side, which means, guess what? 2 fast guys on the top of the side of the screen, right? So Xavier McKinney should really be probably wondering, 2 fast guys over there. I should probably help out maybe on that side, right? Well, let's watch the play and see what happens. So the ball gets hiked, right? It's a play action play. The ball doesn't get thrown. You got your one wide receiver in the flat over here, which freezes Keyshawn, right? He has to worry about the flat. And Smith goes up just past Bullard, I think, is 20 here. And if you look here, Evan Williams has got his eyes in the backfield, not worried about over here, even though there were 2 receivers on this side of the field. And what he wants to do is jump this route if it cuts inside.
You mean Xavier McKinney, right? That's
Xavier McKinney. Yeah. Who did I say? Williams?
I meant Xavier Williams, but that's okay.
Evan Williams is back here because he sees Devontae Smith run straight at him, and he's like, "Oh crap, I'm screwed."
With a 2-way go.
Well, hold on. With a 2-way go, yes. And Keyshawn is frozen in the flat because of where this receiver goes, and Evan Williams knows it. So Evan Williams has to cheat to the outside because he's got no help there. But he does have help to the inside because they're playing quarters coverage. But McKinney doesn't get deep enough, and he's watching Jalen Hurts. And Jalen Hurts pump fakes. Okay, so when you watch Jalen Hurts here, you watch a pump fake right there. And when he does, McKinney jumps forward, and he's flat. And now he's like, oh, crap. See, now he's ready to go deep because it was the pump fake, and he sat on it because he knew this route was coming inside. And now Evan Williams is screwed because he's got to look for the 2-way go here with no help. But he thinks his help is on the inside, but he really has no help now. So he's just even backing up further because he's like, crap, I don't know what's going to happen here. But even if he is, he's still thinking that maybe I'll get some help. But nope. The great McKinney was not there to help him. And why? Because he sat on that route, wanted to make a superstar play instead of actually just doing a job.
That's fair. I wonder if that's going to be pointed out in film study.
No one's going to point that out. And no one's going to talk about it.
Here's the other funny part is, so after McKinney clearly sees that's the situation, right? Like he screwed up.
Get your ass back.
He's not throwing the ball. Does he try to recover and help? Or does he be like, I'm going to be like, this was my responsibility here. So I don't get, it's not too noticeable that I just effed it up.
And look at how much, okay. Like this is a simple zone defense, right? You got 3 guys down low.
Yeah.
And I don't know what Walker's doing. Like he should be back further. There's nothing in front of him at all, right? When he sees this guy go to the flat and the running back's going to the flat, he should be backing up because he doesn't see any receiver in front of him here. He should be backing up to try to take away the middle of the field, which will allow Xavier McKinney to go back, right? So you could almost say, oh, well, he's got to worry about this in cutting route here because the first down marker is the 26. So he's got to sit that and take that away, right? Which he could do. And if Quay Walker backed up a little bit, that would help. But he didn't go, and he should have. As soon as he sees this guy go this way and this guy go this way, there's nothing for him to cover here. This is dumb. What is he standing there? I guess, maybe he's a spy for Jalen Hurts, right? That could be a thing. But it's just one of those plays where Evan Williams gets crapped on because, he gets beat by a super speedster but he's not known for his coverage either, right? It's not like he's a great coverage guy or anything. So I just thought I'd share that because when you're watching the game, you're like, dang, how did Evan Williams get stuck on the fastest wide receiver on the Eagles? Well, that's right. How. They played quarters coverage, and he got stuck in no man's land with the fastest guy in the field with a two-way go with no help. That's not Evan Williams' fault. That's the defense's fault.
Yeah.
It's not Evan Williams' fault.
Can I just let's go back in time real quick here, a couple years ago. Back when publicly there was a guy that was being signaled out, and I recall it because I played some of these clips on our show from Matt LaFleur publicly calling this one guy out. And he screwed up a lot. I get it. And he was not very good most of his time in Green Bay. And we hammered on him a lot. But one time the Matt LaFleur publicly called him out on a play that they gave up a deep one. And I think it was actually Rudy Ford that got stuck in, the guy last line of defense, similar situation. I think it might have been against Detroit. And he's like, well, we had a safety jump the crosser there, and they shouldn't have been jumping the crosser there.
Right.
That guy's name was Darnell Savage. He did that. He got called out. Xavier McKinney just did the same thing. Is he going to get called out? No, because he's great, right? We think he's the best. Do we only think he's the best because we paid him so much money? I mean, partly that, and then because he made a bunch of interceptions right away, so then he's the greatest thing ever, and even though he never tackles anybody or tries to really help out. I did say he did have a great play this game, though.
Did he?
I think I said the text on it. The play he got trucked and totally run over on his tackle.
Yep.
That actually gave Cooper the opportunity to come punch the ball out because normally if you tackled the guy and brought him down right away, Cooper wouldn't have that chance. But because McKinney got totally run over and the guy was laying on top of him and hadn't hit the ground yet, Cooper could punch the ball out. So I said one time it's good to get just totally run over, and McKinney's tackling prowess and style actually paid off.
Yeah. You know what the saddest part is? The Packers had 9 offensive possessions in this game. Or something like that. And they only had 7 points.
4 the way it was going initially, the first 2 drives.
I know.
I was like, Jesus.
But it's how do you get 7 points with 8 or 9 offensive possessions? That's pathetic. I mean, the whole game was pathetic.
It was bad.
But the biggest thing is this. The whole crowning of Jordan Love 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, that he had 300 yards passing and 241 of it was after the catch. And I said that on our show, and I said it multiple times. No, Jordan Love is not good. It's the guys after the catch. It's Tucker Kraft. It's, Romeo Doubs, who's got the security blanket. And when those 2 guys are gone, Love's got nothing. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know where to throw the ball. Also, Banks and Morgan are got to be the worst offensive linemen I've ever seen on a Packer uniform in my history of and I've seen Billy Turner. I would rather have Billy Turner than Banks or Morgan. And that's just a God's honest.
Are you saying you'd rather have Billy Turner playing guard?
I would think, yes, I would rather have Billy Turner playing guard than Jordan Morgan or Aaron Banks playing guard on this team right now. And that's really sad.
I think Sean Ryan is feeling after that.
How does Sean Ryan not get the start?
I don't know.
Jordan Morgan was awful. I mean, the first couple runs, that first drive, he got his ass spanked so many times. Now, are they going up against 2 awesome defensive tackles who were both drafted in the first round, and they're both from Georgia's defensive line, and they were both top awesome guys? And yeah, they are awesome guys.
How do the Eagles get that when they're so good every year?
Because the Eagles are smart. They take the best player that's there. They don't go and try to make something up. We could have had either one of the 2 Eagles corners that they drafted last year when we took Jordan Morgan. We could have had Quinyon Mitchell, or we could have had Cooper DeJean. Now, did Quinyon Mitchell have a pass interference on Romeo Doubs that wasn't called? And then that led to a sack and then a completely messed up drive for the Packers? Yes, and that was bullshit. But you know what? That's because he's a first-round corner, or maybe a second round. I can't remember when he was, but he was late first round or early second round. Yeah. first round corner, and he gets away with shit because he's a first round corner. And we could have had him. And what's our weakest link on our team? Oh, yeah, corner. And what do? We signed this Hobbs guy who stinks. And we also signed an offensive lineman at a spot where we apparently had a Pro Bowler at that spot. And then moved him to guard where he's not good. Or at the center where he's not good. And then he got hurt. And when he got hurt, we were better because Sean Ryan came in. It was better. But we still have Jordan Morgan out there and Banks out there.
Yep.
And that's why, like I've heard people like Andy Herman talked about. He's like, oh, well, your offensive line is almost like your starting pitchers on a baseball team. Like you got to have your ace and your number 2 guy, and then your next guy. But you really got to have your ace. It's got to be like really good. That was back when Dave Bakhtiari was on the team. But that's not how offensive line is. Offensive line is your weakest link is where you're rated. Period. Because if one guy screws up, the whole play is screwed. And we have 2 weakest links. So it's doubly fucked up. It's really bad. It's really bad.
So we didn't do a show after last week, even though there are plenty of things to talk about last week.
Oh, plenty of things.
Including how, obviously the devastating thing with Tucker Kraft and that play just sucked balls. And maybe that's why they benched Sean Ryan. I don't know. Or was it even him? No, it was Rasheed Walker. Who was going to
No, it was Sean Ryan who got, but it wasn't his fault.
But maybe that's why they benched him, because it's not even that it was his fault, but that because he was in the way and was trying to do that trap block and then got, undercut, he ultimately ended up costing the Packers their whole season because Tucker Kraft is no longer there to save their ass on offense. Maybe that's why they benched him. Actually, now that I think about it, that's probably it. That was probably Matt LaFleur's.
That's not why they benched him.
That's Matt LaFleur's process, most likely.
No. Matt LaFleur is an idiot.
Well, of course he is. And he's also a whiny little punk. And I'm just, anyway, but we'll get into a little bit of that. But that was a terrible thing. That happened. All right. That sucked because we've been calling for Tuck. They're finally starting to use him more, although not enough this year. And then it gets that freak thing and then it's done. And that really stinks. Musgrave can catch. He just can't do much after he catches it, but at least he catches it. We'll give him that.
Our most explosive play was him not being able to catch the ball, and just he did the dead leg. So it looked like he got pass interference when he really just had the dead leg because he just stopped running because he tried to catch it when he wasn't far enough. And they called pass interference, even though it wasn't pass interference. It was just him doing the dead leg. But that was our most explosive play of the night. That's really pathetic. That's really pathetic.
Hey, look at this. JJ says we don't have a guard. They all suck balls with a Z.
Well, we do have a guard.
Well, JJ,
his name is Sean Ryan, and he was good. But now he's got to play center because Goody never signed a center. And he let our center go in free agency. He didn't draft a center. He didn't sign any centers. He just said, I'll just take all these guards and make them a center. I'll take Jenkins and make him a center. I'll train Sean Ryan to be a center. We have Zach Tom, who should be a Pro Bowl center. That's all we ever hear is how he could be a Pro Bowl center, but we play him at right tackle. Maybe he should be our Pro Bowl center.
Maybe.
If he's that smart.
Maybe they don't want him to be a Pro Bowler.
Well, here's the thing. Funny. Jordan Morgan has the body of a tackle. He's a tall. It's the same thing they did with stupid Royce Newman.
Quick feet.
Yeah. He had the quickest feet around. Okay, well then put him at freaking tackle. He had skinny legs and long arms. Why is he playing guard? He's getting his ass kicked by D tackles. Because that's what Jordan Morgan's doing.
Yep.
Jordan Morgan was a tight end in high school who they switched to tackle when he went to Arizona. And now you're putting him at guard against 360-pound defensive tackles? He's getting his ass kicked. Why? He should be a tackle. Actually, he should have never been drafted. We all know this. But that's the biggest problem.
Yeah.
And what they should do right now is get Anthony Belton, or whatever his name is, Belton, get in there, the second-round pick.
Yeah.
Put him in there at right guard. We need some beef. We need beefaroni. Let's beefaroni this shit. Get a 320-pound right guard and Sean Ryan at center and just sit on guys and move the pocket, right? Move the line of scrimmage forward and give Josh Jacobs some room to run. Give him a couple yards before he has to hit the first guy. And then he'll plow through a couple more guys and get like 5 yards a carry. But right now, when you got Jordan Morgan, who can't do anything, who gets his ass kicked by a speed rush, by a defensive tackle who's 360 pounds, that's a problem. It's bad. And Banks is terrible.
And he can't stay. I was wondering when, I was going to place a bet. Would he make it through the first half or not? But he actually, I think, was in the whole game or most of the game, or I can't remember. Anyway, it's interesting. So the one thing I was two things popped up as you were talking, and I just wanted to stop interrupting because you were on a good roll. One thing about the Eagles and their corners and their players and stuff. Did you get to see any of the broadcast or the pre-game broadcast stuff? They had a pretty awesome feature on Cooper DeJean and showed all this stuff. I'm like, how in the hell did the Packers not draft that guy? What were they thinking? I mean, the Eagles do everything with him, and he does everything well. He can blitz well, he can tackle well, he can play the slot, he can play outside, he can play safety. They showed plays where he's in zone coverage and then recognizes shit and peels off to come up and make plays on the ball, or is maybe in a forward zone, but he sees the route concepts happening behind him, recognizes there's somebody there in front of him that's not as big of a threat, backs off and makes a play on the ball that the quarterback doesn't see him coming. And he's an aware guy. He's aware. He knows he can make plays on the ball. He's physical. He tackles well. Sounds like pretty much everything that Jeff Hafley likes in defensive back for his style of defense, right? How do we not draft that guy? But
Jordan Morgan.
Yeah, but ultimately it comes down and back to Goody is one of the worst evaluators of football talent in the history of all evaluators of football talent. Right. And you know how you can tell? Because all of the high picks stink and all of the high price free agents stink.
Yeah.
Under his watch. That's it. He makes those decisions. Some of these lower picks, that's not him, right? Or there's influence from other guys, whatever. But the stuff that he studies and really locks into, because that's where all the big money goes to, they all either are terrible, paid to be superstars and are average at best, or they just severely underperform. Or of course, somehow he has the magnetism towards injury-prone guys too. Somehow he always finds the guys that always get injured continuously too. That's another thing, another skill he has.
There was one play.
That's your evaluation of your GM. That's it.
There was one play where Jalen Hurts got out of the pocket and he ran to the side Rashawn Gary was on.
I remember.
And Rashawn Gary did his stand up. He stands straight. His back is straight, running.
So
fucking slow. And Micah Parsons came from the other side and actually got there to force Hurts to throw the ball away before Gary got there. And Parsons came from the other side.
I know.
And beat him.
I remember it.
How does that happen? Rashawn Gary's supposed to be a freak of nature, right? He doesn't run fast.
No.
He's not Kenny Clark, thank God. But I think
he tries.
There was a play on second down where Enigbare was in there with Barron Sorrell and they freaking stuffed the run. And then the very next play on third down, they brought in Micah Parsons and Rashawn Gary, and we gave up a freaking huge play because they got no pressure on the quarterback. Even though Barron Sorrell and freaking Kingsley Enigbare schooled the guy in front of him and got a tackle for loss on the running game against Saquon Barkley, by the way. So they made a great play at second down, and then they brought the other two guys in, and then they didn't do jack squat, and then we gave up the first down on third and long, or 3rd and 8, or something like that. Just keep the good play. I don't give a crap anymore. Enigbare, when he's out there, makes plays. Barron Sorrell is just a solid, smart guy. We drafted him because he's good. He's just a good player. No more of this freak of athlete, freak of nature guy who doesn't know how to play football. I'm sick of him.
it's funny, right? Because you can watch, you can see it happening. Like I remember that exact sequence. I was like, oh, Sorrell's in and he's fired up and he made a play, and Inigbari's doing okay. Even though Inigbari had a rougher game against the Panthers,
it wasn't as good as the week before.
Right. It was a little rough against the Panthers, but this last game he was good again, but it was just like so noticeable. I mean, it's not that Rashawn Gary doesn't try; it's just that he's just too damn slow. And
he just runs upright. When you run upright, you're giving your whole. You have so much more mass, or like a surface area for the offensive line to touch and move. Mm-hmm. Like if you're low to the ground or moving sideways or turning your body, there's less to get your hands on. Mm-hmm. But Gary is always straight up.
That's why he doesn't. That's why he doesn't get anywhere. Yeah.
It's just dumb. Like how is he still doing that in year 6 or whatever year this is? Like, didn't he have like multiple offensive or defensive pass rusher guys who taught him how to pass rush?
Yeah.
I mean, Zadarius Smith at least didn't do that. He would get low and he had a long torso and short arms, and he could still get low and get around guys. Gary has a short torso with long arms. He should be able to like swim, move, and use that short torso and those long limbs to get around guys easy because there's less torso to grab onto. But he gives the whole thing to him.
Yep.
I'm not a football guy, but I know that's his problem because I watched the play and I'm watching him play and I'm like, this guy, why is he upright all the time? When you remember Clay Matthews, he would just bend and dip. Like the good guys bend and dip. TJ Watt bends and dips.
God. Yeah, you have to at times to get around to not give them. You don't give them anything to get their hands on, really, right? You give them a small target and then you can slip past. I think the thing I was going to say too is I know. It would seem like to your average Packer fan who may stumble upon our show, and if they watch for a little while, might be like, the defense is only giving up like 10 points and 13 points or whatever, like 16 points. Like, what are these guys hammering on the defense? And don't worry, there's plenty of offensive issues to talk about too, and there's lots of that. But the thing about the defense, and we've talked about it before, there's a lot invested in it. Then you added Parsons. Then and they tell us all these things, and the guys who are supposed to be difference makers and make difference making plays, game changing plays, they just disappear. Most of them. I mean, Rashawn Gary against the Panthers pretty much was one-on-one on Yosh Nijman most of the game. Yosh playing right tackle for the Panthers, and Yosh handled them pretty much the whole game. So Yosh was the guy the Packers were done with. Not good enough. See you later. Fine. He had his ups and downs. But guess what? He didn't have any ups and downs against Gary the whole game. He did just fine. Rashawn Gary did nothing. He disappeared. A guy who's supposed to be, who's talked about as a Pro Bowler and a difference-making player and paid as much as he is and was a first-round pick and signed to a second contract for big money and blah, blah, blah. Like, against a guy who's a cast-off tackle, should dominate that guy, should make noise in that game. And he was non-existent. Like, that's unacceptable. I don't care what the score was, the end score was. That's unacceptable. And after that game, just to finish on my issue with the defense in that game, was Micah Parsons hit the mic and started making excuses. It was like, oh, run quick. It's hard to get a pass rush. Well, I watched a number of plays in that game where Bryce Young did drop back, and he did throw the ball 15 yards downfield. And that's plenty of time for you to get to a guy. But guess what? Micah Parsons, you were getting double and sometimes triple teamed a lot. Rashawn Gary was single teamed most of the game against Yosh, and he couldn't get to the guy. So that's an issue, man. You guys had chances. You just disappeared. And it's the same. And then you play the Eagles, who are big bullies. And yes, they didn't play great. Yes, the defense held them down, sort of. Who knows?
Maybe you take away that fumble in the red zone. You know what I mean? Like, they were going to score a touchdown on that drive.
Right.
If it wasn't for Adrian Cooper punching the ball out.
No, if it wasn't for McKinney allowing himself to get run over.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, you take away that,
and that's why he's smart.
We didn't give up 10 points. We gave up 17 points again. And not only that, but because the offense wasn't doing anything, there were times where the Eagles were like on third down, on 3rd and 8, they just ran the ball instead of trying to like throw the ball. Because they're like, these guys can't do shit against their defense. So we'll just take it easy here and give them really bad field position.
Including Sirianni kicking the field goal right away in the third quarter. Yeah, that was a surprise, right?
But he's like, all I need is 3 points. Sweet. We'll win. 3 points.
I mean, okay, so that's the thing. We covered some stuff with the defense. Biggest things are the superstar guys, the highest paid guys, are not making a difference like they should, and especially some of them. And Parsons tries hard. He did some stuff. He did okay. Not as much of a difference as he should make for as much as he's being paid. And Gary just nothing again. And too slow. Just too slow. Offensively, though. Ooh. Offensively. I'm not sure what the mindset was for this game, to be like, we are just going to feature Josh Jacobs. And he did fine.
That first drive was ridiculous.
I know he did fine, but I'm just like, why is it all Josh Jacobs all the time? Emmanuel Wilson's been doing good.
Yeah. Emmanuel Wilson had 1 carry. And it's funny because Andy Herman keeps bringing it up. He's like, are you telling me that Josh Jacobs and Emmanuel Wilson together only had 3.5 yards a carry? And then he'd be like, I mean, Emmanuel Wilson only had 1 of those carries, but still, the 2 of them together only had less than 3.5 yards a carry. I'm like, no. It wasn't Emmanuel Wilson and Josh Jacobs who had less than 3.5 yards a carry. It was Josh Jacobs who had less than 3.5 yards a carry. And he had a couple of gimmies in the game. The bottom line was this. The defensive line of the Eagles, just 2 guys, by the way. Their 2 defensive tackles destroyed our offensive line and knocked down 2 passes from Jordan Love on plays that should have been completed and stopped the run single-handedly with just those 2 guys. 2 players. Because they not only that, Dean, 17, who was a draft, the Eagles got him late in the second round because he was injured that year and he wasn't going to play for a whole year. And they said, we know he's going to be good, and we can afford to just waste the second-round pick for a whole year. And guess what? The Packers waste their first and second-round picks for a year, 2, 3, 4 years. They could have easily had that player as inside linebacker someday. But the Eagles were like, we're going to take him because he's awesome, but he got hurt, so he can't play for a whole year, right? We're going to take him anyways. And that guy was everywhere in this game. And people couldn't block him. Banks would get to the second level, school him left and right. They tried to do double teams. Like, Jordan Morgan would double team with Zach Tom on the big guy, and then Morgan would have to get to the next level to get to the Kobe Dean. Yeah, right. He schooled right past him and got to the backfield and destroyed the play. Happened like 8 times in the running game. Like, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why, and it's the same problem with Matt LaFleur that he has with the skill players that they have with the offensive line. He doesn't understand what these guys can do. Like, they're not good at anything. Well,
Are you sure? Because can I just say this really quick?
Okay, go ahead.
I had to listen to Matt LaFleur, and I've heard him say this numerous times now, even more often in the last 2 years than I heard him say before, probably because Aaron Rodgers was gone and he had more of a say in what was going on in the offense. But I heard him say all the time now, because they've talked about these injuries and changing your plan and working with different guys. And he's like, yeah, I mean, that's exactly what our job as coaches is to put these guys in the best position to be successful, to understand what they can do well and put them in the best position to be successful. So in his mind, that's what he's doing, Ben. That's what he thinks. No, I can't. But how can he say that? Because he either doesn't understand his players at all and what they're actually good at or not. It's either that, or he just does what you say and just calls plays and doesn't even know who's in the game. But then why does he say that stuff? Because that is clearly not his coaching style. That is clearly not what he tries to do, because nothing is ever tailored to any player strengths ever.
Yeah. I mean, if you had Jordan Morgan, would you expect him to take on a single block against one of those 2 defensive linemen for the Eagles?
No.
No, and he got his ass kicked all game. Yet they kept trying to do these flow runs to one side or the other. They were in when they had Jordan Love under center, they ran the ball almost every time. There was no play action out of that. The only play action was when they was in shotgun and they did this stupid fake whatever. And they still ran out of shotgun a bunch, which is stupid because we've talked about this. Josh Jacobs can't get ahead of steam then. And if Josh Jacobs doesn't get ahead of steam, he's useless because he's not fast. All he's good at is breaking tackles. And he's not good at reading where the hole is. And when you do a play and you're out of shotgun, you have to be quick, agile, and be able to read where the hole is. That's why Aaron Jones was so damn good out of shotgun. Josh Jacobs, not that. Josh Jacobs sometimes does a cut, like a quick cut to the side when he doesn't need to. And then he cuts right into a defender. He did it a bunch of times on Monday night. And it's just dumb. But there were plays that were good. It's weird. Mm-hmm. Here, I'm gonna bring up the plays that were good because I don't want to talk. All right. We don't want to be all bad the whole time.
Well, I think it's fair to after these last two games.
But I mean, everybody's seen the bad. At least I'm going to try to show some good, which sounds weird, but I'm going to try to show some good. Give me a second here to get it up.
Okay. I mean, there were some guys who did well in this game. Like Christian Watson did well again, I think. He did a lot of good stuff overall. But I mean, Jordan Love is ultimately
Christian Watson. I don't know, man.
Jordan Love is ultimately he's paid like a difference maker, right?
Right.
And there is no difference made in there whatsoever.
Well, that's their biggest problem.
I mean, he's 6'4". Why is he throwing balls at dudes' heads? I mean, come on. His ball should not be batted down. He's 6'4". He has long arms. He throws over the top oftentimes. He shouldn't be getting balls knocked down that frequently. That's just stupid. And then my other issue, maybe do you have stuff talking about some of the things Matt LaFleur talked about, which was how the Eagles played soft zone all day. They played soft zone.
I have some of that.
Well, then why
didn't play? They played man. They played man with two high safeties a lot too.
According to him, they played a lot of soft zone, and why can't you attack the spots in the soft zone?
Right there, it wasn't soft zone. He's wrong.
Oh gosh. Okay. All right. Let's see some good plays. I'm done talking for a while.
Okay. So these are all running plays that are kind of good. So you're going to see. I don't know what happens on this play, but it's not terrible. So I thought I'd show it. This is the kind of stuff that we can do. So we had positive plays here, and these are the plays that should be run. Okay, take a look here. Walker and Banks double teaming on the D tackle. Look at here. Jenkins, Morgan double teaming on the D tackle, right? That's great. That's what we should do. Also, Christian Watson coming inside as almost like a lead blocker to take out Cooper DeJean, right? That gives us a nice hole here. Josh Jacobs can run to this side. Now, we got Zach Bond here. Could be a problem, and he probably will be. But at least we're getting double team here, a seal by 88, Musgrave, and Christian Watson coming through as a lead blocker, which should be good play. And there it is. Look at that. Josh Jacobs is getting 2 yards before he's even touched, right? The line of scrimmage has been taken care of, and Rasheed Walker has come off the double team and taken Zach Bond. Look at this. If this was Aaron Jones, he would squeeze through here for a huge play. But it's not Aaron Jones. It's Josh Jacobs. And he tries to juke and then run into a guy instead of squirting through the hole. That should have been a huge play. That was a good play. And that's a Josh Jacobs loss of probably 5-6 yards if it was Aaron Jones. Honest to God, I'm just showing you the truth. You just saw it with your own eyes. But it's still a good play. It was double teams with a lead blocker from wide receiver who's 6'4" and 220 pounds, right? Now, I don't like these. They did this a couple times with the receiver going in the back, and then they hand off, and this looks like they're falling into each other. It's really sloppy and ugly and a lot of stuff going on back here. And if these offensive linemen miss their blocks, like Josh Jacobs, as soon as he gets the ball, is going to get creamed. However, this one time, it actually worked because 86, Fitzpatrick did a good job double teaming and sealing here, and Morgan got a chance to get around. And if you look here, we got a pretty good block by Banks, which gives Jacobs a little bit of room. Not a lot of room. And then Zach Tom comes around too. So there was actually 2 lead blockers on that play. And Jacobs is able to get around and do something with it. Still, way too much movement. When you're having a hard time blocking these guys and they're getting penetration, I don't like plays like that. But it was a positive play. So I thought I'd show it because it's nice to see a 5-6 yard gain with all that movement. Now we got it here. Here's Fitzpatrick again, lead blocking. And once again, double team. Banks and Jenkins, double team on the D tackle. Here we got Jordan Morgan going to the second level. We got Zach Tom taking the D tackle by himself. And we got Fitzpatrick coming back to seal the edge on this side. Nice play. And the best part is we're taking care of the D tackles here with a double team. That's good news. Zach Tom's doing great against his guy. And look at Morgan still sealing Zach Bond. And if this was Aaron Jones, squirt, boom. You're talking 20-yard gain. But it's not Aaron Jones. It's Josh Jacobs. And 98 grabs him and pulls it. It might have been a face mask, to be honest with you. And that led to fourth down. But they ended up getting the fourth down because I think that was the one where they did a quarterback sneak and actually got the fourth down. So that's a positive play too. Now here's another one where they move Josh Jacobs behind him. I don't know how that's going to fool anybody. But you got two pullers with Rasheed Walker pulling, and you got another guy pulling here, and you got Chris Brooks is going to seal the edge on the defensive end.
Damn, Chris Brooks.
And it's not pretty. It's actually pretty damn ugly. But it's positive yards. Because they were pulling guys. They were double teaming at the defensive tackle position and then pulling offensive linemen to the side, right? Pulling the left tackle and then having the running back seal the edge to just slow that guy down. He's not going to be able to block him for very long, but it gives you a chance because, and then here, look at this. Double team right here. Double team right here. These are the plays that were successful. When they did the zone plays, right? Usually they do the running zone where everybody just gets on a guy and then moves and slides one way or the other. That's when they would get schooled. And that's how I'm not going to show those plays. I'm showing you the plays that are good. And so far, what we've seen repeatedly is double team on the D tackle, double team on the D tackle. Every single time they did that, there was positive yards in the running game. And it should have kept happening throughout the game. But Matt LaFleur just can't help himself. He loves that freaking wide zone run, and he has to keep doing it. But you don't have Aaron Jones anymore. You have Josh Jacobs. What you need to do is double team and give him a hole, and he will get through it and probably knock a guy out silly in the second level and get you 4 or 5 yards. All right, this time Jordan Love. I don't know how many times he changed it from a pass to a run because the box was lower, right? Because you got both safeties deep. Well, here the safety's sneaking up. This one is not as good. Banks, look at Banks getting his ass kicked here. Sean Ryan's getting to the second level. Morgan got beat right away. Look at this. He's actually holding the guy.
Yep.
Fitzpatrick got beat. Look at this. All of this is bad, 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 bad. However, because Sean Ryan got off the ball and got to the second level as soon as he snapped it, there's still room here because Sean Ryan moved the pocket forward, which gives Josh Jacobs room. And as long as Jordan Morgan at least holds this guy off a little bit, there's a hole there for Jacobs to run through. And it's mostly Sean Ryan because he kicked the shit out of Zach Bond on that play because he snapped it and got moving fast. Great job, Sean Ryan. That play is all him. All him. Now, this is a great play. This is where you got 81 here at fullback. Moving in motion, takes out the corner. Josh Jacobs cuts it inside. You also got Malik Heath, who comes around and does a great block on the safety. Beautiful play. Josh Jacobs gets up. Yeah, look at that. I had a 15-yard run. Well, you kind of got gifted a 15-yard run because of the great blocking. Watch it one more time. You're going to see Malik Heath come around the corner. Or he's over here right on this side. But watch. 81's going to come back over in motion and be a fullback. And instead of trying to fight with these big D tackles in the middle, they just go right away from him, right? And they got 3 down linemen this time instead of 2. So it's beautiful. Look at Malik Heath seals this edge right here, 30. Seal the edge. Malik Heath. Fullback 81 takes out that guy. Beautiful play. Should have ran it like 8 more times. Because it takes away their defensive tackle strength that the Eagles have, right? It clogs the middle, gets to the outside. Here's another one to the outside. 81 gets the seal block just enough to get Jacobs enough time. And I got a couple guys getting blocks downfield. Josh Jacobs gets 10 yards. Just avoid those D tackles altogether. If your guards are having problems blocking them, forget it. Just block them for a second and run to the outside. And who do we got blocking out here? Christian Watson, right? Christian Watson, Fitzpatrick, 81. And people are saying Fitzpatrick can't block worth a crap. Well, you know what? He did halfway decent in this game when it was a play like this, when it was run to the outside. So here's one more. Look at this. This is a big formation. Look at, and all these D tackles move to this side like idiots. That's perfect. 81 gets a seal block. 86. Perfect. Christian Watson, great block on Cooper DeJean. And then Josh Jacobs runs through some guys. Great offense. Great running plays. That was positive stuff, right? I could show you all the bad. I don't want to. Trust me, I've got a lot of it. There's probably 3 times as many bad running plays as there is positive running plays. But the key thing that you saw there was double teaming D tackles when they tried to run inside, or using your big wide receivers to seal the edge and then go running to the outside with a fullback, I can't even talk today, fullback lead blocker. And that was how the Packers actually had positive rushing yards. So think of how many, that was like what? At least 6 or 7 positive rushing yards, and they averaged 3.5 yards per carry. And a lot of those were for 10, 15-yard runs, 8-yard runs, which means the other ones were bad.
You just got us some ratings 4. Right there by saying 6 or 7. Got us some ratings, bro. Nice
I don't know, but it was
way to work that in.
It was good stuff. I don't know what that means, but that's cool.
I don't know what it means either, but it's all the rage.
Okay.
It's good. I mean, what you showed, it doesn't seem like it's that hard to figure out. It seems pretty, commonsensical, if that's a term. I mean, if they're big guys that are tough inside, double team them for a minute, then scrape off and, create a hole, create a little push. And if you're going to the outside, use some leverage with some of your bigger guys. I do really enjoy the packages when Malik Heath and Chris Brooks are on the field and they do different stuff with those guys. And occasionally they'll throw it, which is good to switch it up a little bit. But they're so good. They're so helpful in the running game as blockers and other threats that, like, I love having those 2 guys in the field at the same time. I'd like to see more of it. But especially when you're down Tucker Kraft. Like, you got to get creative. Right. You got to use some other effective personnel groups. Like, let's do it.
And the thing that's great about those 2 guys is they know their role is to block.
Right.
So like, hey, I'm here to block. That's all I'm going to do. That's fine. If you can throw me a pass every now and again, sweet. But I'm here to seal the edge on plays or to help get things going. Even Christian Watson had a seal on one play. He had a lead block through the middle on another play. He was doing great.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an advantage. I mean, you got a 6'4", 220-pound wide receiver and a 6'3", 220-pound receiver in Malik Heath against little corners. That's an advantage for you, especially running to the outside. So if you're having issues on the inside, then you should be going to the outside. Duh. Now, the problem is Josh Jacobs doesn't have the speed to get to the outside. So it's a little tricky. We really need that Lloyd guy back, or Floyd, or whatever the hell his name is. Because that guy's supposed to have speed. But he's always hurt all the time because Goody drafted him. So, he's just hurt every time you see him, he's hurt. Never gets to play.
To me, it's interesting, too. I actually, now that, put those 3 together that we just mentioned. Malik Heath, Chris Brooks, Christian Watson, all on the field at the same time. If you want to try to get a deep shot to Christian Watson when the team is either switching to your personnel group to match or not expecting it as much, that's the time to do it, right? That's the time you might actually get single coverage on them going deep because you're running the ball with those guys and they block a lot. And especially with Brooks and Heath in there, you figure it's not going to be like a big pass play. Like, sneak it in then instead of in these times where you got Watson going deep and Jordan Love throws it up to him and it's triple covered. Like, come on, man.
That Panther interception.
There are ways to do it. And then the other part with the when you're down, your best tight end, you have to look at
your best offensive weapon.
Right, for sure.
Best tight end.
For sure. But sometimes they'll run they'll run a lot of 2 tight end sets, they'll run some 3 tight end stuff, right? When Tucker Kraft isn't part of that anymore, then maybe we shouldn't be running so many 3 tight end sets or so much 2 tight end sets. Like, let's look at other personnel groups that give us an advantage, like the one we just talked about, and maybe we run more of those guys together. Malik Heath, Christian Watson, Chris Brooks in there with another running back. And you could do some stuff with that if you were an offensive genius. Like JJ points out, MLF is an offensive genius. At least that's what they tell us.
Well, he didn't look like it on that shot from the sideline where he's sitting on, leaning on the thing and looking at his play sheet and crossing off everything and
letting Halfley run the team and all that.
Yeah, I know. Like he's not even paying attention to anything. I don't even want to get started on LaFleur. He's just not. He's not it, man. He's not a leader of men. He's not the genius everybody says he is. He doesn't put players in the best position to win. We've gone over it multiple times. Like, you don't run a wide receiver screen with Christian Watson. You don't run a tight end screen with Luke Musgrave because they don't get going again after they catch the ball. Those guys are get them downfield, they'll catch it and then fall down. Okay. Well, Christian Watson sometimes doesn't catch it. But there's multiple guys where he doesn't know how to use them properly, right? And in the Panthers game, when we had the fumble, everybody on earth has seen the Savion Williams swing pass 100 times over the last couple of weeks before that.
If he's in the game, you know it's one of two plays.
Right. And the Panthers read it and jumped it and smacked the crap out of Romeo Doubs and then caused the fumble. I mean, it's because it was predictable as hell. And then in this game against the Eagles, Matt LaFleur didn't run anymore because he's like, oh no, everybody's looking for it. Then he only ran it like one time, I think. Problem was they couldn't handle the inside of the Eagles defense. So they had to attack the outside. The only plays that were successful were runs to the outside or like 15-yard out routes. Those were successful because the corners are playing deep. They're playing like a three, a couple times they were playing zone, they were playing like a 3 deep zone, right? And they were only spot that was open was that 15-yard out or 12-yard out route, which we saw like Wicks had a couple catches in there. I think Christian Watson had one. There was one where Bo Melton was wide open and Love missed him. Like, it was sad. But that's where the only play that was open to him was that out route to the wide receiver. And they should have ran that more and forced the Eagles to come up and cover that more. And then you can attack and do a two-way to that side. But you also couldn't block long enough to give Jordan Love enough time to get the two-way goal. So it was just get the ball and throw it to the outside freaking wide receiver and hope that it works. What?
All right. I just looked it up because I was curious, right?
Yeah.
Savion Williams has a total of 78 offensive snaps through 9 games. 78 offensive snaps. He has, I think, so more than about 20% of the time when he's on the field on offense, he's getting the ball. And they give it to him in the quick screen or the jet sweep. That's all he gets. So if you're a defender and you see the normal jet sweep action, you're going to probably guess it's a jet sweep. Or if you're a defender and he doesn't get it on the jet sweep, guess what? You're going to probably guess it's the quick screen to Savion Williams. And you're probably right a good chunk of the time. So, I don't understand. I've never seen a team that doesn't run plays for some of their best players when they actually had them in the lineup, but for their number 5 or number 6 wide receiver, they run specific plays for him, and they only put him in the game primarily when they're going to run a play to him.
And then everybody knows that's happening.
Of course they do. Because he's not in the game very much. So when he's in the game, you're like, oh, they're probably going to do something. And when they show us this action, it's going to be 1 or 2 plays, guys. Right?
Yeah. And McQuaid is like, they never throw slants. And he's right.
No.
They don't run slants. They do in the red zone. Because I think Romeo Doubs has had a couple touchdowns on slants in the red zone. But they don't even just run a slant on first down. They don't do it.
No. We can't do that.
Line up everybody over here on this side. Put Romeo on this side by himself and have him run a slant. Boom. First down. Or at least a 5-yard gain. 6-yard gain. But yeah, they don't run him. I don't know. Maybe Jordan Love is too afraid to throw him because he's worried about a pick 6 or something.
I mean, but the Savion Williams thing is just blowing my mind, though. We're more than halfway through this season, and why have we created plays specifically for our number 6 wide receiver. I've never seen a team do it. And then I've never seen the number 6 wide receiver actually get on the field just for those plays pretty much. So everybody knows it's the most predictable thing of all time. They don't even decoy him. I haven't seen like a Savion Williams fake that to do something down the other side of the field that tricked everybody and got you an easy touchdown. I've not seen that through 9 games. When's it gonna? Are we saving it for like week 15 or like what? What are we doing here? Genius! You got players again. Let's see it.
These are all the play. These are like the drive enders. Okay. Find out what happened on these ending plays that caused us to not score any points. I don't even know what they all are. I just know I put it together. I haven't watched it.
And let me just be clear.
We'll just watch it together.
Before we do that, let me just be clear. Savion Williams, I don't think he's bad. I'm not upset with him. It's not his fault. Like, he's literally just doing what the plays they're calling for him. I think he's actually pretty good at returning kicks and running in space with the ball. But when you are always just doing the same thing or getting into him in the same way, it's not very helpful to him. So I'm not blaming Savion Williams. This is not a criticism of Savion Williams. This is a criticism of Matt LaFleur and the offensive play callers and the coaching staff on that's what they're doing with this guy. I don't get it. Okay. Go for it.
Let's take a look at this play real quick. So as soon as the ball snapped, if I'm a quarterback and I'm looking at this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a deep safety over here, right? You got 2 receivers down at the bottom of the screen. You got a corner, and you got a slot cover guy on Romeo Doubs. And you got a linebacker who just backed up. So you've got 4 guys on this side to cover 2. At the top of the screen, you got another D tackle who sat there, a corner who's got to worry about this receiver, and you got Luke Musgrave. And on this play, Luke Musgrave runs like a out route, but like a, I don't know what you call it, like a pylon route, so it's like out and then to like a slant, but like a slant out to the sideline. I don't know how to explain it.
We call it in the biz, the tight ends, we call it a bender.
Okay, sure. So he runs a bender, but he runs straight and then he does like a 45-degree angle to the sideline, okay, toward the end zone. So if you know that, and I'm looking here and I'm seeing, and by the way, Wicks just runs a go route on this play. And that's where Love looks first, is the go route. Even though we got safety help over here and we got the corner who's 7 yards off, I would just not even look there. I'd be like, nope. I would get my eyes off of that and go to the other side as fast as I could. And if I did, and I know that Musgrave is running that route, and I see over here that the corner is sitting on the Malik Heath, and Musgrave's going to run away from that safety, and he's way taller than him because that's Blankenship, who's like 6 feet tall, and Musgrave is 6'6". I'm going to attack that play, right? That's where I would go with the ball. So here's what happens. But where's Love looking? He's looking at Romeo Doubs, who, guess what, is covered by Cooper DeJean with an inside linebacker who's taken away that inside slant. That's not there. Wicks is doing a go route. He's got a safety over the top, and the corner is already 5 yards beating him. There's no way this play is happening. He should get his eyes off this now. It should be to the other side now. And look at on the other side, we have one-on-one, one-on-one, one-on-one. So you got a double team over here and a double team over here and 3 one-on-ones on the top of the frickin' screen, which should have been read before the play even got snapped, but our quarterback is too fucking stupid to realize it. His eyes should be to the other side of the field where he has all one-on-ones. And if they were, the ball should be thrown now. And look at Musgrave is open. Throw the ball right here to the 15-yard line. First down, easy play, throw it. But our guy gets beat on the offensive line. Love looks down instead. He's afraid. It's a mess, even though we got a wide open first down. And what happens? Love dances and dances and dances and then gets sacked because he's a fucking idiot. Or maybe he got positive yards. I don't know. But it should have been a first down.
At least he didn't fumble that time.
And that's the play Jenkins got hurt on. So there you go. It also got Jenkins hurt. But why is he looking he looks there for a second, then he looks over here. Why is he looking over there? And it's Banks who got his ass beat by Jacoby Dean. And it's a disaster. The pocket's a disaster. But as you see, before the snap, you should be looking, where am I going with the ball? What are my guys' routes that they're running? And where is the defense at its deepest, or its weakest, and it would have been on the top of the screen to Musgrave, and he just didn't look for it.
That's a clean throw, and he had time to make it. Even with that inside pressure, he had time to make it.
Yeah, and now you got Bo Melton moving in motion, and nobody went with them. And you got Quinyon Mitchell who backed up. So you can tell this is a zone, and they're playing 4 zone deep here on this play. And we got Musgrave, who's going to be open. I think he just throws it to Musgrave. But if you watch real quick, I think Christian Watson is cutting across the middle, and he's going to be open too. And that's where the first down is. Right there.
Oh, because
the safety is sitting here, but he's worried about the pass rush. If he would have just threw the Watson route, like the ball should have been in the air already.
Yeah.
Right. But he's not playing quarterback. He's freaking out because our guys are getting their asses kicked in front of him. Like right now, throw the ball. The ball should have been thrown.
Holy shit! Go back on that. Is that Josh Jacobs just getting like?
Probably.
Roll that back. I gotta see that shit again. Watch Jacobs coming up to Phil here. Holy shit! I give that guy a running start, but that was still pretty good.
And that was the fumble by Jordan Love.
That was a fumble play? Oh. Yeah. Which, can you pause for a second as an aside?
Well, just talk. It's fine.
All right. As an aside on the fumble play, that just blows me away, is the week before, Savion Williams, fumbles, and LaFleur makes a huge-ass deal about it. Damn, Kobe Dean just kicked his ass. And then, right, and he gets just blasted publicly by Matt LaFleur.
Yeah.
Jordan Love does this. When you're potentially in field goal range, he does that. And after the game, Matt LaFleur is just like, they ask him about it. Well, I mean, he's just trying to make a play there, and, he's just trying to make a play there.
Yeah, except Musgrave was open if he wanted the quick check down, and Watson was open in the second window, like within 1 second. That's where his eye should have been. It should have been the Musgrave first, and then he should have pump faked the Musgrave, which would have pulled the linebacker over, and then threw it right to the middle to Watson. A good quarterback would do that. A $55 million a year quarterback would do that. But this guy is not a $55 million a year. Well, he is, technically, but he doesn't play like it. He plays like a freaking bargain basement quarterback because he doesn't freaking see the field. All he does is do checkdowns and shit like that. And then Tucker Kraft made him look good a couple weeks ago, and everybody said he was great. Wrong. So I don't know what happens on this play. We'll have to take a look and see. But I just know it's another drive ender. It's basically the same play. I think it's the same play we just saw. Musgrave is going to sit here, and this time he throws it right away. But Watson's going to be open in the middle of the field if he doesn't. And also, look at the bottom of your field. Down here, Wicks. There's nobody there. Let's take a look at this. Look at all this field we have to work for. Wicks is coming in motion. This play is designed to go to Wicks because he's coming in motion. And when he comes in motion, he's got a full head of steam. He's going to come up and do that out route. This play is designed to go to Wicks. Because look at this. Zach Bond? No way. This ball should be thrown right now, or almost pretty quick here, to Wicks on an out route. The ball should be in the air and be going to Wicks, but it's not.
We're having to do an out and up there, though.
Oh, Wicks is on a comeback. That's
why.
What
the hell is... How did you... I mean, why are we running... What down is this? Third down?
That was third down.
Are you fucking kidding me? I'm sorry, dude.
Musgrave out of just 2 yards short of the sticks, and he ain't going to get the first down because it's Musgrave.
Okay, so this is 3rd and long, right? Pretty long.
Yeah. 3rd and 8.
You're thinking on 3rd and long, you're going to have that much time for Dontavian Wicks to do all that stuff? And
I don't. He should have just done a quick out at the freaking sticks at the first down marker. It would have been easy, especially when he's moving in motion that much. And actually, having him do a comeback route is really stupid.
Look at the Eagles' defensive alignment here. Holy buck. They're attacking that left side hard.
Christian Watson was open for the first down, though, too.
Yeah, Jordan Love.
Same exact play, basically, the play I just showed.
It's like he freaked out about 3 guys being lined up on the left side, and then when they picked it up pretty well, he was already made his decision. I got to get rid of this. You're fine, man. Hang in there.
This is the one where he should have threw the Wicks. So it's the same play.
It is the same play.
Except this time Christian Watson is not there. I don't know. I think Bo Melton's in the middle. Wicks is
coming. Got a big pocket.
Yeah. But he throws it. He doesn't even. He's got a great pocket right here. He could easily throw that to Wicks on the out route. But he throws it to Musgrave short of the sticks, and Musgrave ain't going to get it. And it's 3rd down again.
Oh, this is the one right before the 4th down?
Yeah, this is right before the 4th down when they get called out the play and then they get destroyed and line up wrong anyways and fumble it. But Wicks was there, and he had the perfect pocket.
Mm-hmm.
But he's freaking out, so he's just thrown to the check down right away. Like, the game's on the line, dude. You don't check down on 3rd and 8. That's what Kirk Cousins does. You're a $55 million quarterback who's supposed to make plays. And why is Musgrave running that fucking 5-yard route on freaking 3rd and 10 when you need the first down because you're losing? The ball got tipped again.
Well, if he is, it's to hold guys, further forward so you can hit that second level.
Well, they hit Melton, maybe, yeah. Then you throw to Melton.
Yeah.
And he definitely had a good enough pocket there.
Yeah. But it looked like they just had Bo trying to pull guys deep on that.
This is the play where the D tackle here is telling everybody what the play is, and the Packers just don't care. They just run it anyways.
And don't block it, Earth.
Well, the other thing somebody was talking about, they said that actually if you look at the top of the screen, it's actually a wide receiver. It's a option route. He could actually throw this to Bo Melton, but because they're playing man and Cooper DeJean is right up on Bo Melton, he can't throw that now. He can't throw that screen. So he has to hand it off on 4th and 2. And I think the Packers had timeouts here. They could have called a timeout.
They had 2 timeouts, Ben. This is where we really I cannot believe. And I heard Matt LaFleur asked about it after the game, and I cannot believe his answer. Like, are you kidding me? So this is your last legitimate good opportunity in the game. Yes, if you don't get this and they're dumb and you somehow make, a couple defensive plays, you get the ball back with 20-some seconds like they did, okay? And the Eagles do some questionable stuff, fine. But that play, 4th down right there. Sorry, I'm bringing it back. 4th down and 1, after you get 9 yards, you have 2 timeouts. There's a minute something left. Like, call a damn timeout for the most important play of this game, and make sure your guys know what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Like, why are we racing? Like, I get we want to try to catch them off guard, blah, blah, but your guys didn't even know what they were doing. It's 4th down and 1. It is the most important play of the game. Call the timeout. Figure out so everybody's on the same page. You know what you're doing. You go. You run the best play to get 2 yards. That's it. That's a huge coaching blunder. Like, what is he doing? And after the game, he was asked about it. He's like, well, we were trying to preserve time there. We had timeouts, but we were just really trying to preserve. Why are we trying to preserve time? This is the game, dude. This is it. If you don't get this, you have a very low percentage of winning this game. Run the ESPN analytics or whatever you want to do. But guess what? They're all going to tell you, if you don't get this, your chances of winning this game go down by like 60% compared to if you get this. So this is the most important play and single yard of the whole game. Call a timeout. Make sure you guys know what the hell they're doing. Run a play that'll get you 2 yards.
Yeah.
That's it.
And that's why he needs to be fired. And we're happy as a coach.
100%.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, he blows it off after the game. Nobody follows up on it. I'm like, I would have wrote a whole article about that. Got that decision. Yeah. I mean, I don't get it. That is completely inexcusable. And the fact that he got one question about it, gave the answer he gave, and didn't get a follow-up is mind-boggling to me in the world of media. It's insane.
Yeah. You still got a video up?
Yep, keep going.
Look at this. Look at this pocket we got here. Now, Zach Tom is getting beat a little bit here. But look at your receivers. Christian Watson is about to come through the middle of the field, He's making an in route here. There's nobody there. Romeo Dobbs is at the top of the screen at like the 30. He gets past this little bunch of Eagles because Love looked to the flat first, so they all jumped that. Romeo's got an out route at about the 25. He's open. And Love is, I don't know what he's looking at. Like, just throw the ball. You got two guys. You can either throw to Watson here, first down, or you throw to Romeo over here, first down. He doesn't either. He freaks out. This is the first drive of the game, and he gets sacked for a 1,000,000-yard loss. And gets sacked out of the field goal range. But look at that. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. It was a sack of his own making, basically.
I mean, right there, boom. What do you just throw the ball right here?
You got time, and
it's an easy throw.
Yep.
And you can even go to Romeo if you wanted at the top. Yep. That'd be a little bit harder, but the Watson one is easy.
Yeah, it's not like Blankenship is coming out. He's backpedaling on that. Just throw it. And if you're worried about Mitchell holding Watson, well, then throw it there anyway. Put a spotlight
maybe they'll call it. And then the next play is where we got a little bit of problem with Christian Watson. Like, I don't know how to explain it, I guess, other than to say that he's got to catch that ball. The ball's in the air, and he becomes the defender right now. Or I don't know when, but now. If he would have just kept his eye on the ball, you have inside position on the corner. Like, just catch it. Right? Go up and catch it. But he takes his eye off the ball and then tries to, like, I don't know what he's doing.
What the hell, Emmanuel?
Like, that would have bailed out Jordan Love for the play before being so stupid. Right? Because this is just luck. He's just like, I'm chucking it. And Watson's got inside position, but he gives up because he thinks he's not going to get there, but he gets there. It hits him in the freaking helmet.
Yeah.
If he was a Randy Moss, or like he's supposed to be, or anybody, just James Jones, Jordy Nelson, he would have gone up and he made that play.
Yeah, he was more worried about it not being a pick than making it a catch.
And then we had all these.
That's friggin' hard catch, dude. Like,
it is a hard catch.
He's not even really open. Like, I don't even know if he could see the ball there.
But that was finally Jordan Love actually took a shot, which was a good pass, and Romeo couldn't come down with it.
Yeah, I get it.
And then we had your guy, Bo Melton.
I know.
Who had two drops. Like, very important drops.
It's slinging there at wide receiver.
Is it a great pass? Yeah, it's a pretty good pass. Just dropped it.
That one was bad.
And
he didn't catch it with his hands. He let it get to his body. I know. It was bad.
I know.
He's open. It was the right decision. It was a decent throw. He should have caught it.
There's way more plays of Love who should have triggered the ball. Like, remember how I used to get mad about Aaron Rodgers not taking the shot on plays?
Yeah.
It's just as bad. Except the difference is...
That one's not a drop, though. That's a late throw, and that's not a good throw.
That was the same play, dude.
Oh, well, that one, go back and show it. I know one of Bo's drops is bad, but this
one here is pretty bad. That was the low throw. But that was the next play was a Christian Watson catch that got on the first down.
Yeah, that was a terrible throw.
Yeah. Well, he's throwing off his back foot again like an idiot. I mean,
dude's texting me, I think, because we're swearing too much or something.
I don't give a crap. I'm mad.
But lose 2 in a row playing like that at home, there should be some swearing.
All right, well, there's a guy in his face. I can't blame him for that.
He got hit. Yeah, he got hit. That was not a drop. I don't care.
Bo Melton, yeah, it was. Bo Melton should have caught that.
That ain't a drop, bro. That's a throw that got hit. Dude. Goes into the ground. It's not a drop.
When your quarterback stinks, you got to catch him. When your quarterback is bad, you got to catch these passes, man.
My quarterback makes, 300 times more than I make. So
this one was really bad. This was the worst drop of the day. Dontavion Wicks. You got to catch that shit, dude.
Yeah, no.
Now, it was interesting. Was the ball a little underthrown? Yes. The ball was a little underthrown.
Well, it's kind of cool to see in this game, like 3 or 4 times, Quinyon Mitchell was like manned up on Dontavian Wicks, and they went to Wicks, and Wicks beat him every time. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Wicks is great at running routes. He just doesn't catch it half the time. That's the problem.
Dang
it. Ooh, Sean Ryan now's got it.
Wow, Jordan kick. Morgan did a great job against Dean on that one. Of course,
I don't understand how these guys think they can catch the ball like that.
I don't know. Dean's not really a pass rusher, though, is he?
Anyways, I think this is just another drop or something dumb. But these are all the miscue plays. These are the drive enders and the bad drops and the what are we doing? And that's just these are just the knockdown plays.
The knockdown.
Okay, I take them off. But anyways, there's a bunch of Jordan Love plays that are bad. I could have showed too. I have them on the video. I'm sick of doing this now. But anyways, I just wanted to show those because hey, there's a bunch of times guys were open on third down. Yep. And Love is freaking out and taking a sack. Yep. Like, what are we doing, man?
Yeah.
Throw the damn ball to the guys that are open.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't they have like a progression that he's supposed to go to? Like this, and then this, and then this? I don't get it.
You would think. They make a lot of money to coach, plan, and play football. You would think there's stuff like that set up, yeah. But what do we know? They have answers. Matt LaFleur, I'm sure, has some answers. Wait, no, he says he doesn't have any answers because Bill, our buddy Bill, asked him some questions. He's like, "That's a good question, Bill."
Yeah, if I knew, then we wouldn't have this problem. Well, aren't you the head coach? Hey, I think our stream ended.
You think it ended? Why?
Yeah, because I must have had policy violations for showing videos.
Dang you. Your policy violations. Well, this recording, I think, will still get on there at some point.
Okay, well, good. Yeah, because I'm watching our stream and it says it's ended. So I guess we're done. Sweet.
We're done? Okay. Well, our show then ended much like the Packers games ended, which not how we would have liked.
Sad and pathetic.
Yeah. Except we didn't have control over the endings, but the Packers did have some control, and they just blew it like punks. But we can't blame it on most of them. We can't blame it on Matt LaFleur, who is maybe the worst. I said it in a text. I'd rather have McCarthy than Matt LaFleur. And Nick was like, hot take. I'm telling you.
I don't know about that.
At least McDaddy got us a Super Bowl. At least McDaddy dealt with issue players and got them straightened out for a while. Stood up to Favre. Got Chucky Woodson in line. Handled Rodgers for quite a while. Till he got lazy and got too many massages. But, hey, he did it for quite a while, right? Mm-hmm. I'd take Magic Mike over LaFleur in anything but a bathing suit competition. That's it.
Why did you say that?
Or a haircut competition because Matt LaFleur gets his haircut weekly. We know that.
And his eyebrows.
Every week gets a haircut.
And his mustache gets cut. But sometimes he needs to shave it like at least 5 times a day because you can still see the stubble above where the mustache ends and where the stubble is. And he still...
Oh, yeah, because he trims it it makes it too...
Yeah, it's weird.
Thin. It's weird. Own that mustache if you're going to have it all the time. Especially when you're going to have your haircut. I mean, your haircut's that tight, you should have a little bit of a thicker mustache or a little bit of bush to the mustache. Don't make the mustache so tight.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's too tight. It's not balanced out.
Right. It's not.
Makes you look like a stiffy, like you're an old stiff boy.
I don't know, but it's not good. Not a good look.
Not at all. Maybe Matt LaFleur should worry more about coaching offensive football. Maybe he should skip a haircut to game plan a little longer or do something else.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Maybe.
All right. That's it then. We have no idea what will happen against the Giants because we don't know which Packers team will show up. And Jameis Winston will throw the hell out of the ball.
My quarterback got concussed for the 4th time, and they finally decided to not play him.
Why don't you pick up Jameis Winston instead of Karen Rodgers? I think Winston will be fine.
Winston he's going to either he's going to give me -8 points or he's going to give me 25 points, and I can't take the risk.
Take the risk.
I'll take Rodgers 15
learn from Aaron
20
Rodgers.
points.
Take the risk.
Aaron Rodgers against the Cincinnati Bengals. Last time he scored 4 touchdowns against them.
Yeah, that's true. He's going to.
So I think it's a fine way for me to go for this week. After this week, hopefully Jackson Dart's back, and then my fantasy domination will return.
Even though you had to abandon all your morals.
Yeah, I did. That's right. I have Aaron Rodgers as my starting quarterback in fantasy this week.
Gross.
Maybe he'll get hurt like Joe Burrow did when I started him in week 1.
That'd be the only benefit. For you.
Might happen.
Only saving grace.
Positive, just like eating Cheetos and drinking beers. Look at that. Wow.
Hey, we must be back on. We got a viewer back. Woo!
Look at this.
What do you got? What is that? Let's see it.
Fulton triple berry sour.
Ooh, it looks scary.
It just tastes like beer.
Oh.
Which, in my opinion, is bad.
I think you'd like this Elite 18 vodka, bro. I'm telling you. And this bottle is kind of crazy.
I used to drink Silver Wolf, so if I can drink that crap, I could drink something that's actually good.
This stuff did not give me a hangover. I've drank all of this bottle that is gone has been drinking by me in 3 days this week.
That's why
I'm pounding the drinks now. To drown in my Packer terrible play. 2 home losses in a row means lots of drinks.
It's bad. Oh, it makes us all sad.
Get it together, LaFleur.
We will not do another POO show until the Packers win a game.
Yep, they got to win.
So
they got to beat Jameis Winston or Russell Wilson or one of these guys. Team of the coach that got fired. Who else?
Who doesn't have their number 1 receiver? They don't have their number 1 running back. They don't have their number 1 quarterback. If we can't beat this team, something is wrong.
They got Wan'Dale Robinson.
That don't mean anything.
You know what he had? What did he have last 2 weeks ago? He had 9 catches for 45 yards. I was like, what the hell? Is he just the check down on every play? But he was.
That's some Randall Cobb stats at the end of his career.
Yeah, he was just the check down on every play, and he couldn't break a tackle, so he got like 5 yards. 5 yards, 5 yards, 5 yards, 5 yards. That's it.
It's not good.
Anyway, Packers better win, or we boycott the season. No. I will just say for all the people who thought, the 27 and the Magic 27 and third year as a starter and tradition and that was all going to continue. I don't think so. I don't believe. My expectation. So. Crazy things can happen, but I don't believe so.
Hey, my expectation is a Super Bowl win.
I have no idea how that's your expectation.
Goody traded away 2 first-round picks for Micah Parsons.
Goody's a moron. We've established this. He's like the worst at evaluating football talent.
The expectation is a Super Bowl win. That is my expectation. So they better get their act together and let's go.
My expectation is that Goody continues to be the worst evaluator of football talent and overpaid for Micah Parsons and put all his money in these guys who aren't going to be difference makers, and we got 0 shot against the good teams. We will win against the bad teams, and they'll look better, and they'll give people false hope. When we play the good teams, we will lose once again. I went through the rest of the schedule, and I predict the Packers to be 10-6-1.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think they can beat the Bears either time.
I think they'll beat the Bears, at least one of them.
I don't think they can beat the Lions. So that's 3 losses there.
No, they're not beating the Lions, that's for sure.
I don't know if they can beat the Giants.
They're going to beat the Giants.
I don't know if they'll beat the Vikings in week 17.
They'll beat the Vikings. Vikings are a mess.
Yeah, but by week 17.
Week 17, the Vikings will be throwing in the towel. They won't care.
Yeah, but Aaron Jones will spark some life into him.
He'll pull a hammy or something.
Hey, don't say that.
Just saying.
Don't you say that.
All right. Aaron Jones has been pretty effective since he's been back.
Yeah, he's freaking good.
Yards per carries has been pretty good. Ephraim traded him to me, which helped out my team.
What?
Ephraim made a bunch of wheels and deals here last weekend. He was here at our house, and he's like, I got to make some trades. My team's terrible. And so he's like trying to make a trade with me. I need a receiver. I'm like, well, you can have Wan'Dale Robinson if you want. And so then he traded me old man Aaron Jones for Wan'Dale Robinson. And then I told him and then he said, "Oh, he has no quarterback." I was like, because he picked up Justin Fields to be his quarterback. I was like, you should trade for Matt Stafford too, because I don't need Baker and Matt Stafford. So I'm like, Matt Stafford's doing good. Get a better quarterback. Just throw something in there. I don't care. I'll do it. And he didn't even do it. I was like, he's stuck with Justin Fields. I'm like, man. Then Matt Stafford had another big game and is doing great.
Yeah.
But I can't start him over Baker because Baker's the guy. You know?
Baker should be a Packer.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if the Packers had all the guys we want?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Baker
as a Packer.
Quinn Miners.
Yeah. Oh,
Cooper
so many good guards. We talked about how terrible our guards were. So many good guards in the last 4 years.
Oh, my God. We could have drafted Grant Barton instead of freaking Jordan Morgan.
Yep.
We would have had a great guard. But we drafted the 8th best tackle and put him at guard. We could have drafted the best guard. That's the Greg Goody. Genius that he is.
And you could have offered like Lucas Patrick a piece of meat to keep around and like train these guys on how to play offensive line in the NFL. He would have been a great mentor for all of them. Could have been awesome, man. But
that's the other thing I was going to say real quick.
What we got.
We need former players who are position coaches at key spots.
You're trying to say that wide receiver coach?
I've said that multiple times that Jason Vrabel is a terrible wide receiver coach. and I think thinking back to it, like think of all the guys like Robert Brooks. Who did he have? Oh, Sterling Sharp. Who did Antonio Freeman have? Robert Brooks. Antonio Freeman. Who did he teach? Double D. Who did Double D teach? Greg Jennings. Who did Greg Jennings teach? James Jones. Who did James Jones? Jordy Nelson. Devontae Adams. And then they traded Devontae Adams and they drafted Romeo Doubs and Christian Watson. Who did they have? Nobody to train them. That's all they had.
Oh, and Cobby will coach him up.
Cobby was gone at that point. Cobby was not back for that year. Damn it. They had Alan Lazard, who can't even get on the field for the Jets now that Aaron Rodgers is gone.
At least he got a nice contract. Think about that. Alan Lazard really cashed in. His loyalty to Aaron Rodgers paid off big time. Set him up for the rest of his financial future.
Yeah. Genius move by him. But what I'm saying is none of these receivers had a mentor who actually knows how to play receiver, right? And Jason Vrabel can't coach worth a shit. Therefore, when you see Malik Heath, or not even Malik Heath, Christian Watson, and they go with their hands like this to catch a pass, go back and watch Sterling Sharp. He would catch passes like this. He would catch 100 balls before the game with his hands like this. His hands were always like this. 2 hands like this. Never dropped a pass in his life. The play where Dontavian Wicks dropped his pass, he had one hand like this, one hand like this, and it hit him in the hand and it bounced off. How about if you do 2 hands and then you grab it?
You look through the window.
It ain't that hard.
I know.
But these guys are doing the one hand because the one hand is cool.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have the skill to do the one hand that's cool, guys. We need you to catch the damn ball to get the first down so we don't lose 10-7. That's really sad.
Would have been worse if the Packers lost 6-7. But as we go, they won't lose this week. They'll carry through. All right, maybe they'll be 9-7-1, but I still think 10-6-1 is their likely finish. And they squeak into the playoffs, probably as a 7 seed or 6 seed or whatever, and then get dumped by the Lions or the Seahawks, who are. I've been pretty impressed watching the Seahawks. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
And guess who's playing a lot for the Seahawks? Jaron Reed, who was on the Packers like 3-4 years ago, awesome. And they were like, "Yeah, screw him 1 year."
And Jackson Smith and Jigba, who was the guy I wanted him to draft, and they
might have been somebody they could have drafted. Sure, yeah.
What did they do? They didn't move up and get him, and they got Jaden Reed. And how's that working for you?
That Goody strikes again. He always strikes. But someone pointed out earlier, I think JJ, that this is probably why policy has not renewed these guys yet. And so maybe this is the end of the Goody and LaFleur era, and we'll be rebooting after the year.
They still got 1 year left on their contracts, though.
Yeah, they'll be lame duckers though, and then they'll be all pissed and grumbly, and then maybe Goody will make better decisions because he won't be thinking in his right mind.
That'd be good.
We'll see how it goes. Anyway, 10-7 or 10-6-1, maybe 9-7-1. We'll see. But they'll beat the Giants this weekend, so we'll all be back on the Super Bowl train.
I'm not guaranteeing that. I can't say that.
Be good. Ben says his expectation is Super Bowl. So
Super Bowl, but they can't beat the Giants.
Okay, well, we'll see about that. All right. Be good, everybody. Catch you sometime after the Packers win a game. Still hoping till I dream of you. Got to find